All right, everyone, a council member, can we please get reset?
You can connect over there.
If you're a council member, I need you to log in.
Thank you.
Here, can I assist you, sir? Here.
All right, we're getting ready to get started. If council members could log in. Otherwise, I'll have Caitlin tattle on who's not logged in.
We're halfway.
We're going to fix it all, no matter what. Yes. A lot of them, yeah.
Just waiting on Tom.
Looks like he's logging in, right?
Yeah. I don't know why I can't log into my two-factor authentication.
Why?
Well, I got a new phone, but it's saying like my account doesn't exist.
Oh, you better talk to Jerry.
Cody's in there, and I don't want to like log out and not be able to get back in.
All right, everyone, thank you for being here. It is 7:34 p.m. on Tuesday, February 27th, 2024, and you are at a Common Council of the City of Wausau meeting. Welcome, everyone. The first item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now Clerk Caitlin will call the roll.
We have 11 voting members present.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, public comment for pre-registered citizens for matters appearing on the agenda and other public comment.
Do you want to do your proclamation? Okay. Oh, you don't have any more.
Oh, we have nobody registered. So next up, we have a presentation from the Children's Imaginarium and an update. So welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us. So I am Maggie Gordon with the Children's Imaginarium. I've been before all of you before. Co-founder Tammy Zekris, co-founder Julie Bowman, executive director, and Ann Worth, board member for the Children's Imaginarium, are also here with me. I wanted to come and do a update for you and also express our absolute gratitude to the council, to members of the city staff who have helped get the Children's Imaginarium open. In 2022, this council approved members of the city staff to help the Children's Imaginarium apply for a WEDC CDI grant. So that's one of the first things I want to say is thank you for that, allowing that collaboration to happen. The mission for the Children's Imaginarium has always been to inspire discovery and imagination through play, hands-on exploration. All the exhibits are rooted in STEM, something that we found our community needed greatly. So again, Children's Imaginarium was awarded $250,000 CDI grant. That started with this council saying yes to allowing the Economic Development Department the ability to work with us and apply for that grant. That grant was a reimbursable grant for construction costs. So we spent, and then we went back and asked for reimbursement through WEDC. And so that has been completed. We are in our audit for 2023 right now, and that is a final requirement for the grant. So we will submit that to them when that's complete. The Children's Imaginarium had their grand opening December 6th of 2023, so we are just 2 months in, definitely in our infancy. We have been open, this is slightly more, but 350 hours since I made this PowerPoint. We have 13,800 square feet of space that we rent from Home Furniture. We have 2 full-time staff and 9 part-time staff, with 1 part-time position open still. 42 volunteers are sharing time and talent at the Children's Imaginarium. We have had 8,600 visitors in 2 months of opening. We have, I think we can say 600 members now, since 600 members, families. Membership is starting at $150 a year for a family of 4, and that gives you admission to the museum. It gives you a reduced birthday party rates, reduced programming rates, and there's different tiers of membership, so you can add family members, it can grow, it's not just held to 4. Most popular membership is a flex membership that allows grandparents to be named on the membership, or they can bring a different combination of adults or children with them when they visit. 700 students have visited on field trips in 2 months. 47 field trips have been booked. That represents 28 different schools. And we have 68 different zip codes that have been served. We have 3 different states, Illinois, Los Angeles, so California, and Minnesota are all in that makeup of the different zip codes being served. Minocqua, Tomahawk, Rhinelander has taken field trips to see the museum. Plover, Marshfield, Athens, Anago, all coming to downtown Wausau to enjoy the Children's Imaginarium. Behind the museum, the fearless leader, Julie Bowman, those numbers are because of her. And Amanda Cottrell, our operations coordinator at the museum, pouring heart and soul to get the museum open and operating and welcoming in so many guests. When we wrote this grant for WEDC, these numbers are far beyond what we projected. So they have been busy. 600 members, we were hoping for 350 at 6 months. We were hoping for 200 students a month in field trips. We're at 700. So kudos to those 2 on the board. We have a board of directors behind them that also deserve some recognition for staying with the project. This is a 10-year in the making endeavor for the downtown area. And there's some workhorses in that group that got us to the finish line as well that deserve some praise. So again, my primary purpose for being here tonight is to say thank you to the council, to give you an update on the impact that collaboration had for downtown, to specifically call out departments here at the city that had a hand in completing this $250,000 grant. Community and Economic Development Department, I am almost speechless. On Liz, Randy, Tammy, that department went above and beyond for our downtown, and seeing what this impact could be helped keep energy in the project. It focused the project for what our downtown needed, and we can't thank that department enough. Public Works Department, going back 10 years, I believe we were meeting with them on how we can get this project done as well around the big conference table. Inspection and Zoning Department, again, another department that went above and beyond and cared for our project. Getting an address is difficult. When a street doesn't exist and a plan isn't quite, known, there's a lot of unknowns. That was a big hurdle. Finance Department, every reimbursement that we needed, it went through the Finance Department to get that reimbursement to us, and a lot of care going into making sure that we were filling that out for the state correctly. Thank you. Again, City Council members for helping make the catalyst to this project possible. The WEDC grant at the time of the request closed the gap on our project for the capital campaign. So it was significant. And Mayor Katie Rosenberg, 8 years maybe, you've been aware of the project.
10 years since you presented at the library board, so
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Yeah. So champion the project at the state level, talking to other museums, learning about the impact that a children's museum can have for a community, again, above and beyond to understand the project. So I encourage all of you to come visit, please. We're just down the road. It looks beautiful when the evening sun is set and the big old sign is glowing. Julie Bowman is available by email, and that is in the packet under her photo. And I can answer any questions or share anything. One thing I want to say is we will be keeping an eye on the economic impact that we're having as well for a CDI grant. But Forward Beverage, Politos, the Pinery, Jimmy John's, the chocolate shop, home furniture, all of them are friends of the museum. We have done some really creative collaborations already. Home furniture offered, was it for holiday shopping? If you made a certain amount purchase, they were giving Children's Museum memberships. Politos has stated that their business has seen a tremendous increase since we opened. Pinery, if you walk by, you will see a lot of moms and strollers before 10 o'clock when we open. So we're really excited about that. Lena, Parks and Rec Department, Marathon County Social Services, all really big players that we're starting to collaborate. On the horizon is an Access for All program that our community is already starting to fund, and that's to how it sounds, access for all, that we don't want a barrier to enter the museum and to experience this. And our community is already getting behind that effort. Also a reciprocal membership program. So if you are a member at the Children's Imaginarium, you are a member at other Association of Children's museums. So those are big things on the horizon. Right now at the museum is our second special needs field trip evening going on. So really cool things happening. We'll take questions.
Amazing. I have some people who already want to speak, but I also want to thank you so much. It's an incredible project. All of your exhibits are amazing. Thanks for spending so much time on water. Really important that we start young. But I will start calling on people because they have things to say. Alder Rasmussen.
Thank you. I've been around a long time, since the presentations on the Children's Imaginarium or a Children's Museum concept first began. And for the time that you took to come here and thank us, I think as a governing body, we owe you the thank you. Was an infinite amount of patience that was required by your group to bring this project from concept to completion. And I know that there was at least a half dozen points along the way where you all could have thrown up your hands and said, forget it, we're not doing this anymore, we can't anymore, and you didn't. And you persevered, and that project is serving our youngest learners, and it is one of the best new things to happen downtown in a long, long time. I have a niece and a nephew who are 7 and 5, and they often will offer me feedback on things that happen here that they love. And the big winner a couple years ago was River Life Park, but now that has been superseded by Children's Imaginarium. They love both, but they are members and loving that facility. And it's just so satisfying to see that journey come to fruition and see that all of the predictions were right. This thing has gone over like gangbusters in our downtown, and that's exactly what we want. That type of success, we need more and more of that. So thank you for your patience. And you have added immeasurable value to our downtown, both for the businesses that needed that foot traffic that will only continue to get better, but for children who need things to do and educational things to do. And, you know, we were lacking that for a long time here. We've now created a destination space. So congratulations and thank you for your effort.
Thank you. Alder Lukens.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So what she said, no, I'm joking. I work with kids. So, but I just wanted to also thank you so much for all of your hard work everyone involved in this. I do echo Alder Rasmussen's points, and also because I work with students, I have been hearing, like, oh, I wish there were more. Just lately, I've heard from families and students, I wish there were things for us to do in Wausau. And these are some older ones, although they may enjoy it. But I also very much appreciate hearing about the different membership options. I think that's just wonderful, and I need to check that out too. And also the access for all, almost brought tears to my eyes, just because I know of a lot that maybe can't afford it. So I really am excited to hear that the community is stepping up for that too. So thank you all very much.
Alder Larson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. When this whole concept came together, I didn't know what quite it all involved. What's a children's imaginary and stuff, until I seen some of the things that go on down there, some of the exhibits and stuff I saw, and some of the propaganda that I've seen, and it looks to be so enlightening that even a little kid in me wants to go down there and see
have
it.
fun.
You should go.
And so I think I am going to go down there and see that, and thank you for what you've done, and thank you for what you've brought to the downtown, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
I can't recommend enough that you go. There's a little wall that you can blow up that you might be interested in trying out. Alder Lukens, I have you again. Would you like to continue, or? Okay. Thank you. I don't have anyone else requesting to speak. I want to make sure everyone has that opportunity, but all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty, we are moving on. We don't have any appointments, so we are now on to file number 240201. This is to approve the minutes of a previous meeting on February 13th, 2024. It looks like I have a motion by Alder Watson and a second by Alder Lukens. Is there any discussion? I don't see any.
You may begin voting. Motion passes 11-0.
All right. Next up, I guess we're requesting for you to suspend the rules 6B filing and 12A referral of resolutions. This does require a 2/3 vote. I have a motion by Alder Watson and a second by Alder Hinkie. This is non-debatable.
You may begin voting. Motion passes 11-0.
Alrighty, here we are on file number 180915. This is a resolution from both Transit and Finance recommending submission of an application for State of Wisconsin Transit Capital Assistant Grant under the VW Mitigation Program and acknowledging that receipt of those funds will result in a reduction of future municipal revenue payments pursuant to state statute 79.03057 in the Wisconsin statutes. It looks like I have a motion by Alder Rasmussen and a second by Watson. Does anyone want, we have Megan on the line if there's anybody that needs clarification, though we did talk about it at Finance earlier, passed unanimously, same with Transit. Megan, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to share.
I guess I'd just really like to say our transit department is struggled with securing some competitive grants because the trend seems to be going towards alternative fuel vehicles. So through this grant, it would give us an opportunity to replace 10 of our existing vehicles that are 2009 or older. It would help us get through this transition period until we can figure out how to obtain vehicles that are alternative fuel.
Thank you. Any discussion here? I don't see anyone, so I think we can vote.
You may begin voting. Motion passes 11-0.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next up we have file number 221209. This is a resolution approving the extension of the special committee, the Wausau Drinking Water Treatment Facility Solar Array Project Task Force. Looks like we need a little bit more work on here. We have a motion by Henke and a second by Alder Watson. And Alder Henke, you have something to say.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to add to Caitlin's letter that was in the packet. So we started meeting in May. I thought we had a whole year to meet with this. It was brought to my attention at our last meeting on Thursday that it expired on the 3rd. So we need to present to the local community group beforehand. They don't have a meeting in March. Their next meeting is in April. So this extension would just allow us to present to them and then present to the whole council in May sometime. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you. Alder Rasmussen.
Thank you. At least this first solar project is proposed in my district, and I will say this group has done some fantastic work, both in terms of communication, sensitivity to the concerns of neighbors, and then working on alternatives that take those concerns into account. And the options that they brought forward to our last neighborhood group are night and day better than where they began. And so I just am glad to see the work of this group continue, and I think they need to have the time to finish. So thank you.
Thank you. I don't see anyone else requesting to speak. Did you? Nope. Okay. We are ready to vote.
You may begin voting. Motion passes 11-0.
All right. Thank you. Next up is public comment and suggestion. If you're here and you didn't get a chance to say something, you're welcome to. All right. I'm going to assume nobody has anything to say. So I would take a motion to adjourn. It looks like I have a motion by Alder Henke and a second by Alder Lukens. All in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone.